Fucking. Sorry about that. Well, whatever. I just had to plug my phone in because I talk so much and batteries run flat. See, that's one problem I do have actually. That is one slight problem. I can talk so much sometimes. Sometimes I can talk so much that the battery runs flat. So I'm recharging my battery. I'll give you a tour of the flat later. Because I was talking about that lady in the van, because I watched that lady in the van thing. And it was a fantastic film. Very, very good. So I'll show you my flat later on. Because I'm Bill. I live in my flat. I'm having it sprinkling. I'm on holiday this week. See. I'm on holiday. It's Monday night, right? I can talk for as long as I like, right? And I like the latest films that I was doing. So I don't have to worry about time, and I do have to worry about time a bit because, like I say, I did phone Mum. Sorry, Mum. 10:30. I didn't realise she went to bed at 10:30. Sorry. My mum is about 80 years old actually. So I've got to phone Mum before 9:30 now. Well, my parents are tired. Actually, it's Monday, isn't it? Because Dad's been on kidney dialysis this week. Actually, my dad's on kidney dialysis 3 times a week, like. So, actually, if I phone Mum, I've got to phone her before 9 o'clock at night. Before 10 o'clock at night. I'm putting it into my brain, Mum. Because Mum and Dad have gone to bed because they're tired. They're tired. So Mum and Dad have gone to bed tonight. Sleep well, Mum. Sleep well. Sorry about the teeth, but my dentist did that. Why am I talking when my lips are fucking? Hold on. I feel like talking. It's when I do feel like talking. Hold on. Oh. Anyway, my batteries run flat, right? Actually, I'm not talking about driving. We'll talk about the lady in the van next. In fact, I do want to talk about. I want to talk about this in another movie in a minute. I'm stuck. Actually, I can't actually move around. Because I got this I've got a Galaxy iPhone. See, this thing about the YouTube. Well, I've said that, right? But I've got this Galaxy iPhone, so I've got to recharge the battery, so I can't move around the flat until the battery's full. So I've got to recharge the battery at the moment before I can move around the flat. But I'm just talking tonight because I feel like it. I'm on holiday. This week. So anyway, yeah, I'm on holiday until next Monday. But anyway, if this is a trip thing, rave trip. I know I was talking about jumping off. In the 70s or 80s, whether they made it illegal to jump off a diving board. Yeah, they made it illegal. This is going to be a split film. It's going to be in several levels probably because we only got a certain amount of fucking tape and stuff. But yeah, I should remember to put it on pause next time. Oh, bugger. But no, anyway, yeah. What I'm saying is, like, you're not allowed to jump off a diving board into a swimming pool anymore. When I was a kid, about 9 or 8 or 9 or whatever, well, at first you jump off the ledge. When you're a kid, let's talk about Hatfield swimming pool at the moment. Talk about Hatfield. Yeah, I'm talking about Hatfield fucking swimming pool. Right, this one's about Hatfield swimming pool. I used to love swimming. I'm tripping all night. I'm on holiday. I'm on fucking holiday this week, right? I'm on fucking holiday. Can do what I like. But don't text your parents after 9 o'clock. After 9:30. Because my dad's on kidney dialysis, you see. Because my dad's on kidney dialysis. He gets very tired, and my mum's looking after my dad, and I get very tired. So I've got to remember not to phone my mum after about 9:30. Yeah, after 9:30 I won't phone my mum and dad because they need to get some sleep because they're very tired. It's Monday. My dad's very tired. My mum's very tired, obviously, because my dad's on dialysis 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Like my fucking dad, he's about 83. He's on kidney dialysis Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I've got to remember not to phone my mum after about 9:30. After about 10, 9:30 or 10 or whatever. Because then you get some sleep. Okay, sorry about that, Mum. I apologise. Yeah, anyway. about swimming. I used to love going to the swimming pool. You know, I used to swim a bit, swim underwater. I used to love swimming underwater. Do you love swimming underwater? I love swimming underwater. You love swimming underwater. But I was talking about jumping in the pools. I was never any good when I was a kid. You know, 7, 8, 9, 12, whatever. When I was a kid, I was never any good at diving. You see, I could never dive, but I did love jumping. Right, I wasn't allowed. I did love jumping into the swimming pool when I was a kid, in the 70s. We were allowed to bomb. Have you ever bombed before? Have you ever really bombed before? Have you ever jumped off a cliff or something? Have you ever jumped off a diving board? And you know that feeling when you're in the air, you're flying through the air down to the water, but you know there's no danger. You see, you know there's no if the water's, as long as the water's deep enough, like, as long as the water is deep enough, like you got about I think you got about 20 foot, you got about 20 foot or 12 drop, because you got to weigh the weight of the person. It's physics, actually. With water, with swimming pools, it's always good to remember physics with water. Actually, I'm talking physics now, and swimming pools. Swimming pool, yeah, I'm talking swimming pools, water. It's always good to remember physics, because the body is solid, yeah. Now air is air, and water is water, yeah, and water is liquid, yeah. So what you do is when you jump off a diving board, you're falling. You're actually falling. It's a lovely falling is a lovely sensation, isn't it? Don't you think falling is actually a lovely sensation when you know you're safe? Like, I suppose you do your bungee jumps. I mean, you can still do bungee jumps these days. This is the funny thing, right? This is the funny thing. You could do a fucking bungee jump in 2016, right? You could do a fucking bungee jump in 2016. But you are not allowed to jump into a swimming pool of a diving board. You're allowed to dive into a swimming pool. You are allowed to... I'm on holiday, for fuck's sake. Fuck off. You're allowed to dive into a swimming pool. Yeah? 25 foot or 50 foot or whatever. You know, however high the diving boards are. You know, 10 foot, 20 foot, whatever. You are allowed to dive into a swimming pool from quite a good height. But you're not allowed to jump into a swimming pool. Obviously, it's different with the oceans. You know, if you jump off a cliff, it's a bit different. It's a bit different if you jump off a cliff. You know, you don't have any laws with jumping off cliffs. Anyone's allowed. Anyone can jump off a cliff anytime they like. Everybody can jump off a cliff anytime they like. Yeah, you're allowed to jump off a cliff anytime you like. Yeah, but you're not allowed to jump off a diving board since about since the 80s, like, since the 80s, for the last 80, 90, 20, for the last 30 odd years. No, for about the last fucking 35 odd years, right? For about 35 years, it has been illegal to jump off a diving board because it's considered too dangerous. It's too dangerous to jump into a swimming pool. Okay, you can jump off a cliff, yeah. If the water, you know, well, if the water's deep enough now. But it's illegal to jump off a diving board. I used to love jumping off diving boards. When I was a kid, it was a hell of a thrill. It was really exciting. And it wasn't dangerous. If the water, because the water was about 20, well, if the water's deep enough, it is not dangerous. Because actually, with physics, when you land in water, the water is thicker than the air, you see. When you're falling through the air, yeah? When you're falling through the air, it's like you're a bird or something, you know, you're falling through the air. Free fall, from like parachuting or whatever. You're allowed to parachute, that's legal. It's legal to jump, to parachute, but it's illegal to jump off a fucking diving board. But the sensation of falling is why people jump out of aeroplanes. The reason why people jump out of aeroplanes and do parachutes. I've never actually done it. I've never actually parachuted before. I've never ever parachuted before. I think children are allowed to parachute if they're supervised. If, you know, teenagers, anyway. I think teenagers are probably allowed to parachute out of an aeroplane. Right? And when you parachute out of an aeroplane, you land on solid ground, yeah? And it goes splat, unless you have a parachute, yeah? Unless you have a parachute. When you jump out of a aeroplane, you're falling. Doing gravity drags you down to the earth. And you have a parachute, luckily, if it works. You know, you have a parachute, so it lifts you up. So you don't break your neck. So you're allowed to jump out of an aeroplane with a parachute. You are allowed to jump out of an aeroplane with a parachute, but you are not allowed to jump off a diving board in a swimming pool. But you're not allowed to jump off a diving board in a swimming pool? Isn't that a stupid fucking law? I'm no good at diving. I'd like to try parachuting one day, maybe. I wouldn't mind trying. I'd like to try parachuting one day, maybe. But I do enjoy jumping off a diving board into the water. You know, the first board or the second board, you know. It's a lovely feeling to jump and know that you're safe because you're going to land in the water. Because the water pushes you back up. Because the water bounces the body, doesn't it? The water bounces the body if the water's deep enough. So you don't crack your head on the ground. It's actually more dangerous to jump out of an aeroplane. But you're allowed to jump out of an aeroplane. But you're not allowed to jump off a swimming pool. That's why I don't go swimming anymore. One of the reasons I don't go swimming anymore is because, well, apart from the fact, well, I don't care about the price. Well, I do, because some people don't have a lot of money. It's very expensive these days. I don't know how much it costs, probably about 5 or a tenner. I think £5 for an hour is a fair price for a swimming pool. Because all you're doing is splashing in water, innit? When you're in a swimming pool, you're just splashing in the water. I think £5 an hour is a fair price for a swimming pool. Seriously. I used to love swimming. Well, I didn't love it. Well, I used to love swimming, yeah, because I used to love swimming. But I used to love jumping off the diving boards. But the problem is I stopped going swimming because the water got too cold. They never heat up the fucking water. When was the last time you went to Hatfield? Let's talk about Hatfield. When was the last time you walked to Hatfield swimming pool and you jumped in the water and it was warm? All right? When was the last time you jumped into warm water in Hatfield swimming pool? You still got to pay sort of 5 or 10 quid to go swimming, yeah? But you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to jump into the water from the diving boards, and the water's always cold. I do not want to spend 5 quid or 10 quid to jump into cold water. That's all I want to say about swimming. I don't want to jump into cold water. I think if you want to go swimming, don't you want a warm swimming pool? For Christ's sake. Maybe if you warmed up the pool a bit and lowered the prices and heated up the pool, more people would go swimming. But I hate swimming in cold water. I love it when it was heated swimming pools. It used to be a heated swimming pool. But nowadays it's just fucking cold water. And I'm fucked if I'm going to spend 10 quid to go swimming in cold water. Anyway, yeah. I was talking about this time when I was tripping off on LSD. Anyway, I walked stark naked to to the car park, Hatfield car park. I'm built. It's about 91. Then 99. I walked stark naked on LSD from my mum and dad's house to the swimming pool and back. No, to the forum and back. I walked to the forum and then I walked back home stark bullet naked because I thought this was 1991, you see. This was 1991 and I thought I was tripping off my face on LSD, admittedly. I mean, I learnt to control it over the years. You know, this one of my early trips. I learnt to control it over the years. Anyway, I walked stark bullet naked over to the swimming pool and then back to my mum and dad's house in the middle of the night. I got back home in the middle of the night and I realised I didn't have a key. This is a true story. And I realised I didn't have a key. So because I was tripping on LSD, I knocked on the door. I had to knock on the door because I was naked. Because I was naked, I didn't have a key on me. And my mummy and daddy answered the door. This was in 1991. My most embarrassing moment. That was my most embarrassing moment, I think. 1991. Well, it wasn't embarrassing actually. It was a bit embarrassing. It was a bit. My dad was scared shitless. I think my dad was a bit worried about it. You know, said, you know, because my dad was scared shitless about it. You know, so I had to give up. I gave up LSD after that for a while. I gave up LSD after a while when I was living at home with my parents. Because at the time I was still. So I came back from Australia. When I came back from Australia, before I got a flat, we were talking about the flat and stuff, you know, living in van stuff. But before I got this flat, I was when I came back from Australia, I stayed with mum and dad. Like, I stayed at home. I was living at home with mum and dad until I got a flat. Like, but on one occasion, I was tripping on my face on LSD, and I came back. I walked to this forum and back, started boiling naked, knocked on the door, and my mum and dad answered the door. A bit embarrassing. A little bit embarrassing, that was.